Okay, so like I mentioned, we're in the SPX trade here. I just have the 1 minute chart up. SPX, you can see over here the ticker symbol. It's the S&P 500 index. So instead of what I would normally do is sell the options, I decided to buy one today. So we're going to take that route. And I'll explain a little bit of why I actually wanted to do that. So when we're looking at, I like looking at a 15-minute chart. And we can see here on the 15-minute that as time has gone on, we obviously had this big breakdown the other day, and then we kind of popped up. But clearly, over the last bunch of days, we've been just steadily climbing up, which is really great. We see on the daily here, you know, my SPY calls that I have right now are loving it. I bought some SPY earlier in the year, which is great. So we've broken out of this accumulation phase here, and now we're just going on a nice big run. So if we look across on the daily, you know, we've gone over this topping point here, obviously. And then, you know, the next topping point is kind of around that 44.92, but basically 4,500. It's a good psychological level for people to kind of, you know, that's probably where we would want to go hit next, $4,500. Now, before that, we might have a bit of a cool down though, because we are starting to get overextended over that Bollinger Band. And if you follow any of my videos at all, usually I'm trying to sell calls above stocks that have extended themselves out over beyond the Bollinger Band. But that doesn't mean that as we go, usually that first day we extend, it continues for about one more day, maybe three. 3 days max usually, and then we usually have a bit of a cool down. So I would be expecting, because we're starting to overextend ourselves here, we're probably going to have a bit of a cool down. Maybe tomorrow we kind of finish and get kind of that nice topping point. We kind of work our way all up, maybe all the way up to 4,500. But for right now, at least for today, I bought myself a call. It's going to expire today by the end of the day. So it's a zero DTE, 0 days to expiration. And so I bought that. I'm currently up 190 on it. So we'll see what happens. Admittedly, I bought it a little bit early. I probably could have waited. Typically around lunch, here's what we're going to see throughout the day, okay? You're going to see kind of a fake out. You know, we broke down here right in the morning, kind of open up here a little bit. Not even that bad of a fake out on today. But sometimes you'll see maybe a push up like this and then a knockdown and then around, shake some people out, and then we'll kind of do the move that you're going to see for the rest of the day. So clearly here, the volume's on. This is the SPY down here in this little chart. You see a lot of green volume kind of pushing it up, right? This is just a 1 minute chart. A lot of volume down here to start the day. And we've been steadily, the yellow line is the VWAP. We've been steadily away from VWAP the whole day. So a lot of the times for me, like when we get that extension up, nice volume, and we don't even really come close to that VWAP and we stay nicely away from it, then to me, kind of like the buy program's on, you know, the machine wants it to keep going up. Okay, that's typically what happens. Now the 1 minute, you know, is good to zero in on the 1 minute if you're going to make that trade. But what happens over a lot of the time, what time's this? So right before lunch, right? So we have that really nice move, and then around 11:40, kind of, you know, we're going to start that kind of accumulation. So as lunchtime goes, now I entered the trade. I entered the trade in around here. So I was kind of thinking like, you know, now this is a little bit of FOMO, a little bit of like anxious, kind of like, oh, get in before the move goes. I don't want to see it go up. So this is something that you should always watch out for. So as I started to kind of see this, I really like this kind of like higher lows, pushing up, and then kind of breaking out, right? A little bit of a trap here. This is a little bit of a trap to kind of like, hey, everybody, look, we're gonna make a breakout. So trap me, but I kind of had the conviction that I believe that this is going to continue throughout the day, throughout the rest of the day, throughout the rest of the afternoon. So I stayed in it even though it broke down here. Now, what's going to happen is if you kind of got into this trade a little too early, because this is at 12:43, so that lunch hour is not over yet. So what I typically find is like there's usually a bit of kind of a maneuver shaking people out, and then usually after 1 p.m., I don't know if it's people coming back to their desk, the algorithm, whatever it is, people coming back from lunch. I'm not going to pretend I understand what it is, but this happens over and over and over again. If you go to look at charts, lunchtime is pretty bad, and usually you have that final little, you know, they go below this line here, they go below this low here, and they almost go, look at that, almost exactly to the mark. Look how close that is, right? Let's zoom in there. Look how that is. Just a little bit to below that low. So you're going to have people who kind of got caught like me and moved in on this move thinking, oh, I want to rush and get in. A little bit of FOMO. I'm probably normally going to get out here because, oh, we went below that low. And then if I really, really push it, oh, we went below this one now. Oh, I can't take this anymore. I got to get out. It doesn't actually go below that earlier low that we had here. It's nowhere near VWAP. You can see on the SPY, SPX doesn't have VWAP, but you can see on the SPY, the VWAP didn't even go. And then all of a sudden, you can't take it anymore. You get out right here, and then it absolutely rips up. So shoot a like if that's ever happened to you before, where you kind of get out right at that moment that you probably shouldn't have. Okay, so that's on me. I got in a little too early. So what I really should have done was I kind of had some things going on and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let me hop in here. But I did have conviction that like this will probably continue. And I'll show you why in a second, why I believe that it might continue. But essentially, I should have entered here when we started to kind of rotate over and see this nice push of volume in on the SPY here, right? So when you start to see this nice push of volume in a rotation, that's when I want to enter. So I could have been up an extra like 200 bucks here or something, but right now I'm up 440 now just with talking to you about that. So the trade's still going my way. So for me personally, what I want to see here, and the reason why I kind of felt like, okay, there might be an opportunity, is because of the Bollinger Band. So I like looking at the 15 minute. If I'm going to kind of get into a trade, I always want to check out the 15 minute. That's why I have it permanently over here. I'm always looking, I like to see the 15 minute because I find for the daily kind of stuff where you're kind of getting in, getting out, 15 minutes a little smoother. If I'm looking at a 1 minute, you can get the emotions going. You can kind of be like, oh, you know, it's all over the place. It's whipsawing. Oh, it broke down through this. You know, you might get out. But when we come back and we look at the 15 minute, it's just a nice, smooth breakup. And we just came, this white line here is the 15 EMA. We come to the 15 EMA. We don't even really get close to it. And we start bursting up there. But the reason why I felt like maybe we have an opportunity here to really push is because of this Bollinger Band. I have seen it time and time again where the Bollinger Band is like a really nice guide for the stock price. I don't, you know, statistically it has purpose and probability wise it does have a purpose, and I love the Bollinger Band personally. But I find when we're extended like this and we have like a nice gap up and the Bollinger Band is kind of guiding the price up like this, a lot of the times I will see when we're on a green day and we have the good volume and, you know, we're not even getting close to the 15 EMA. There's obviously things that have to happen in order for me to feel conviction about this. But when we have that nice gap up here, then a lot of the times you will see price get all the way up to that 15-minute EMA, on the Bollinger Band. So we might have a push all the way up here where we get all the way up to that Bollinger Band. So let me pause the video a sec because we've already been going long enough, and I'll see if it actually gets to that, and I'll come back and chat about it. So stick around because I'm currently up 500 bucks. So let's see how we can go if I actually get the push to this 15 to this Bollinger Band. So stick around and we'll see what happens. Okay, so we are making a nice push here. Now we had a bit of a red candle on the 15 minute. On the 15 minute, I want to point something out to you that's super important, okay? And how your emotions can play with your trading, all right? So here on the 15 minute, okay, we have a little bit of red candle, then we go nice and green, and now it looks like we're maybe doing a bit of a push. It doesn't look too bad, right? But if I go to the 1 minute, disaster has struck because I'm going up like this. I'm making a nice push. This is right when I paused right here and I said, okay, let me see what happens. And then almost immediately we start to come down. So right when I just paused the video, I was up $500. Almost immediately, I'm only up 100 bucks. So now your emotions are playing because you're like, oh man, I was up 500. Now I'm all the way down. Should I just take the 100 right now and call it a day? Oh, why didn't I just take the profit at 500? You know, it can really play with you and really start to get your emotions going. So you got to kind of chill and wait to see what is actually going to happen here. Now, if I'm looking at the 1 minute, the point I'm trying to get across is be careful when using the 1 minute. It's good if you want to kind of snipe like, okay, I'm going to get in real quick here and scalp very quickly. But if you're trying to do a trade that's going to go throughout the whole day or throughout the whole month or the whole week or something more long term, be very careful of the 1 minute because you'll get your emotions going, right? So just to kind of show you like how you should be careful. If you go to the 5 minute, right? I'm on the 5 minute now. Oh, okay, we're coming down a little bit. We bounced perfectly off that 15 EMA, and now we're ripping up. So it's like, okay, I'm a little more calm. If we go to the 15 minute, it's like, oh, wow, this is just a glorious day. This is amazing. I wish I had just got in here, but I was busy this morning doing some other stuff. I do a bunch of other things for work, so I was busy doing that. But essentially, you know, this is an amazing trade right now. It's barely even bounced off the 15 EMA, and it's just continuing. And we're starting to get closer to that Bollinger Band like I explained earlier, right? This video is going for way too long here, so I'm just going to kind of cut it there because I'm sure at this point you're kind of like, all right. But what I want to try to get through is that when you're going to go and look at a trade, look at, okay, here, let me really pay attention to the 15 minute. Let's see the general direction of what's going to happen. Watch out for lunchtime, because during lunch, about 11:45 all the way down to like 1, you know, you start to kind of see that waver, and you know what, let me, while we're doing this, I just want to get out because I'm up $610. So I kind of just want to get out of the trade because I have to go and do something, and so maybe it would be worth it for me to show you how to do it. So in order to buy on the options chain, left's on the calls, right? I just bought something that was close to on the money, basically. It was about around here. It was on the money at the time. So I'm up 655. For me, that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right click on here down in trade. I'm going to go create closing order. And then I can just close that. And I want to try to get mid because I want to see if I can get the highest I can possibly get for it. I just click confirm and send. And I'm hoping I got it. So I would have made about $650 on the day with that trade. Now, this thing can continue ripping. It can keep going, all that stuff. We got kind of close to the 15 minute, but because it's starting to curl around like this and it's really not landing itself like up this way, to me, it's just kind of like, you know what? This is a great trade for me. I made the money. I'm going to see you later. Now, I might see this continue to rip. Doesn't matter to me. Okay? I can't sit here and just say like, why did I get out? Why did I not? The reason I'm getting out now is because I have to go do something anyway. I don't want to go hop in the car and then look at this thing and see it's down and all that stuff and whatever. So I'm just going to take my 650 and run for the day. It's a good trade. I'm glad I got in, and I only got in like an hour or so ago, a couple hours ago, and I made $650. So that's good, right? Now, it probably will continue, but basically this video is going on for way too long, so let me explain. Take a look at the 15 minute. Let's see what's going on bigger picture. Then we can go down to the 5 minute. We can see like, oh, wow, okay, really nice green day. It's going really good, right? And then we want to kind of come into the 1 minute and be like, okay, where's my entry? Around 11:45 until about 1:15 p.m., you're going to usually see this kind of consolidation period. So chill out and wait until about 12:50, 1 p.m. to start to look like, do I want to get into this trade? And then as you're getting into the trade, wait for this little drop down. Be mindful that they're probably trying to shake people out of the trade. Okay, so you got, okay, knocked out of here, knocked out of here. Oh, it didn't go all the way down here, and we got a nice push up, back up over the 15 EMA. Okay, let's go to the 5 minute and see. Oh, wow, this is actually like a decent little entry here. We got 3 nice big candles kind of pushing up. This is a good time to enter the trade. And then from there, we're trying to stay calm while it shakes around in the 1 minute. Okay, and then now we're seeing in real time here. I got out a little early because I didn't want to lose, and I'm just kind of like, you know, I got to go, like I said, and I wanted to show you, you know, hey, this is how you actually close out the trade. But we might actually push up to this 15 minute, and we could probably even continue from there. But good trade for me, made $650. I hope you kind of learned a little something from here. Watch out for that 1 minute chart because it will get your emotions going a little bit more. Thanks for sticking around for this long. Like and subscribe if you don't mind. I'll catch you on the next one.